Greetings and salutations from Orlando, Florida. This is Author J.S. for Sunday, September 27th, 2015. By the time this posts, it'll be late. It'll be well past the noon hour. In fact, in 5 minutes, it'll be noon. So I do apologize. It's been a busy morning. In the background, you were listening to a Central Florida-based band by the name of Trivium. They recently opened for Mark Tremonti at the House of Blues, also an Orlando-based band. And so far, I'm really liking them. They've got a great sound to them. So check out their album on iTunes when you get a second. All right, lots to cover today, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Upcoming events, 3 more takeovers, and I'm done for the 2015 year. I'm not signing on for any more. These are it. So if you want to go in and win some prizes for me and talk to me in these takeovers and learn more about the series, you've got 3 more opportunities. Today is one of them. At 4 p.m., I will be taking over at Perry Ann's Blind Trust event. Her new novel just debuted a couple days ago, and it looks really interesting. Looking forward to reading it. I will be doing this takeover myself. Band members will not be in attendance, but I will be discussing all things Reconciliation, Attraction, and Redemption's Anniversary Edition. So you want to come on in for that. Saturday, October 3rd, Cole Von Snyder takes over on my behalf for the Mystical Magical Love event at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And unlike the other band members, Mr. Von Snyder will have 1 hour in which to entertain and charm the panties right off of you. Yep, 1 hour. This is my way of poking at him with a sharp stick. Why he's not talking to me right now, and it's pissing me off. So, how do you like that one, you crowd? All right. Sunday, November 21st, A.G. Hannibal, my girl, the final band member at Hell's Redemption, will be doing a takeover on my behalf. She will be doing Santa's Naughty List event, and she will also have an hour. She can handle it. She's a big girl. She won't limp out on me. I know she won't. Now, this party will be unique in the fact that Attraction will be done, and so she will be able to share with you all exclusive excerpts from this novella, as well as interviews from the 6 I will be doing in the Redemption Special Edition release. So this will be your first glance at those to be coming out on December 19th. Pre-order now on both titles. Alrighty then, excerpts. Speaking of, I release them for every 100 new followers and fans and whatever that I get on my social media outlets. That's how I gauge fan base and keep everybody engaged. So let's see where we're at. Website. I have 2,617 visitors have visited my website. You're on it now, so that number just went up. So it looks like 83 to go. Facebook. Well, checked it this morning, so big surprise. I have 1,201 followers, so an excerpt is now on the way. Now you've just got to put it together. I have it ready. I just need to launch it. So congratulations. Twitter, 1,740 followers. That one fluctuates quite a bit, and it's really starting to bug me. I get up to the 1,750 mark and think I'm going to be hitting 1,800 any day, and then it just falls right back down. Twitter's kind of a fickle bitch. You're only allowed to follow 2,000 people, and that's where part of the problem lies, is that they just drop me and get rid of me in lieu of somebody else. So it fluctuates quite a bit. But if you're not following me on Twitter, you need to. If I don't follow you back, it's because I'm near my 2,000 mark myself personally. But follow me anyway. I have some great stuff that I like to put out on Twitter. So about 60 to go. Instagram, 296 followers on Instagram. That's only 4 more to go. Yes, I will release another excerpt if I get up to 300 on Instagram. Pinterest, 477 followers, 23 to go. Tumblr, 8. I don't know what's going on with Tumblr. I don't understand Tumblr myself. I'm still trying to figure it out, so whatever. 92 to go. Don't count on any excerpts anytime soon from that one, but I'll be a woman of my word and do it. Goodreads, 385 followers. That's amazing. 15 more, and I'll be at the 400 mark on Goodreads. Thank you. I'm honored. This is awesome. Thank you. Outcast Radio. Still in the development phases for season 2. We've been delayed. The guys have all had some personal issues going on. I know Thomas has been touring right now with his band, and the other guys they've just been busy. So they're college kids. I'm the MILF of the group, so I'm the one that has the most time on our hands right now. But as soon as we all get together and have a meeting and discuss what we want the next season to be doing, we will go ahead and get it recorded and get it going. So the Queen is coming. 41 days. Author Terry George will be landing in the United States. 41 days. She secured her flight. November 6th, she lands in Orlando International Airport. I can't wait to just squish the ever-living hell out of this woman. I can't wait. I'm so happy. She's coming. The Queen is coming. This is epic. This is bigger than the Pope coming to the United States as far as I'm concerned. Pope's here right now, and this is like epic. This is big. So Terry, well, this is huge. Okay, so her Frost Trilogy box set just went live this morning. Checked it. It's available on all markets that she sells on Amazon, so it's ready to rock and roll. So absolutely get a hold of it. So $6.99 for a box set. That's a really good deal. Great stories, and I'm thrilled for her. Congratulations, Terry. That's a big deal. What's next? Temptation. The outline is coming along. It's not completed yet, but I'm making progress on it. I've been rereading Redemption due to the editing of it, and I have caught some things that I need to address in Temptation. So some inconsistencies that I've written that I wasn't aware that I did, and oops. So I'll be correcting those in Temptation, so I've got to go back and look at it. Right now, it's a long-ass fucking book. I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess once I have everything in there that I want to include for this next installment on the series, I'll then start making some cuts. So they'll just have to wait for isolation, I guess. Release date on that one is set for the spring. So not going to give you a hard date yet. I don't even know it yet. Upcoming projects. I mentioned this before about a month ago, so I'll just touch on those again. Admiration, another Prodigy series novella. This serves as John Lucas's book. He will not have one in the Hell's Redemption series, so this one's it. I have decided I'm going to go ahead and go for it. First person POV. It'll be from John's point of view exclusively throughout the entire book. I'm really excited to be writing it, and just Terry will be here, so she'll be able to coach me through when I get stuck and be able to, help me along. She's a first person POV writer, so I can't think of anyone better to assist me with this than my beloved Terry. So there you are. Isolation, the fifth and final book in this series, will be released Christmas 2016, next year. Bar I don't have any major delays in life happen. That's the plan. So 2016, ready to go. Through 2017, following titles will be released. Satisfaction, which is a standalone novel, will be released in spring 2017. It features Preston Cowley, the lawyer mentioned in Resurrection Book 2. He was a lawyer down under that helped Cole out of a jam. Pride, which will be a standalone young adult novel. It's my effort to try and get into that market along the same lines of Molly McAdams and Abby Glines. It's a great story, and I want to kind of just dip my toes in that genre of water and see what happens. Unconventional, another standalone novel, will be out Christmas 2017. This one features New York Times bestselling writer Will Clayton, mentioned in Reconciliation. And I think you're going to find his story quite interesting. I know I do. So, The Boys of Hell's Redemption, their series. You're going, well, when the hell is that? They'll have their own novels in 2018. I'll have to write 4 novels in 1 year, which I've never done before, which means they're going to have to be shorter and out faster. Cultivation will be Cole's book, and that will be the first one. Then we'll do Affirmation. Then, try to remember the names of the titles off the top of my head. But anyway, it'll be Cole's book, Seth's book, Drake's book, and then Hyatt's book is the schedule, is how the stories are flowing in my head. So there you go. I have the covers are done, and oh my god, different, way different than I've ever produced before. I'm pretty happy about that. Q&A time. So as a reminder, one lucky fan is going to get the second signed copy of Attraction that's due out this December, available for pre-order now. And this will be given away based on if I choose their question from what they posted in the comments. Kim Whaley, who's a fan of mine, She already got dibs on the first one because it's her birthday present. The band decided to give her the first signed copy. So happy birthday, Kim. So this is for the second signed copy. So let's go ahead and get to it. I have the questions all mapped out. I need to learn to breathe when I do these things. I really do. Okay. First question from Betsy Figueroa, Orlando, Florida. My question is for Drake. What physical characteristic do you love the most about Angela? I thought that was quite the interesting question. Drake responds, oh, asking me to choose just one part of her isn't fair, really? For every available square inch of delectable real estate on her body, I covet and desire. She really is the most smoking hot thing I've ever laid eyes on. If I was forced to choose just one, however, it would be her hips. I love how they swing from side to side when she walks. I love holding onto them. Her curves, especially in those awesome dresses she wears, are the epitome to me of what a real woman should look like. Interesting. Very interesting. Drake can really be surprising at times. Tracy Thompson. This is for all of them. Where was your favorite place to play at and why? Seth. Hands down, my hometown of Miami. The Florida crowd's never disappointed, and in a city dominated by all things Latin, it's especially heartwarming to me that metal fans continue to be there to show their support. Drake. There is something about Salzburg, Austria I love. The fans are super cool, and you can't ask for a more amazing backdrop than in this iconic city. Hyatt. Salt Lake City, Utah. Those seriously Rochester, Utah babes know how to party. John. Tokyo. Our Japanese fan base is solid and really know how to rock. Cole. Even though I was stabbed there, I still love Melbourne, Australia. The fans in the Southern Hemisphere truly appreciate good music, and in a country who produce such iconic bands as Sick Puppies, AC/DC, and INXS can't all be bad, yeah? AG. Without a doubt, my hometown of Philadelphia. However, a close second would be Seoul, South Korea. I played before a record crowd there on my birthday during the Aftermath tour, and I was blown away by the love and appreciation of our fans out there that they have for us. It was amazing. There's your answers. Kim Whaley. She was actually responding to my comment post about Drake waking me up. Here's what she said. And excuse me, you would flip off and grumble at Drake for waking you? Are you still asleep? Holy hell, he could wake me any day. Drake would actually like to respond to you, Kim. I was being an asshole. J.S. doesn't like to be woken up unless it's by her alarm clock. I was just pissed because she didn't warn me that the guys in the band were going to be joining me for my takeover. However, you're all glad I woke her up, isn't you? Danielle Digit. She says, I have so many questions, and while I'm only on reconciliation, and hopefully a lot of these will be answered as I continue to read, my question would be to John and Hyatt. After growing up in a pacifist hippie commune community, when and what made you guys pick up the bass and the drums? How did you guys decide you wanted to be rock stars? I was actually surprised who answered this. I thought for sure the John Lucas would jump in and answer this, but he actually diverted to his brother on this one. So, quite surprising. And he was actually quite loquacious. I'm reading a very long-ass response here. So, here we go. But you were totally audacious for asking Miss Rogers' question. The story actually began when John and I were around 14 and we wanted to earn some money, so our neighbor Mr. Weatherly, who owned a ranch next to the commune, needed some help and tasked us with cleaning out his barn. In the back of it were these tarps covering a drum kit along with other instruments. I always had an eye for rhythm, using sticks or whatever I could to find out to help some beats. I also played the bongos around the campfire at home. So here was his drum kit, and turns out Mr. Weatherly played in a rock band back in the 60s. I jumped on the kit and immediately took to it. John actually started to hum the guitar, but I think the amount of strings just bugged him, so he picked up the bass. Mr. Weatherly could tell we had some natural talent in John with us. He is totally righteous. He then became our music teacher. He then told us in addition to cleaning out the barn, if we stripped and painted it, he would give us the instruments as payment. To this day, I have that same drum kit, and John has his original bass. Decided to be rock stars? Nah, we never actually did decide. We just liked to play music. We grew up around it and wanted to play. One day, put out some serious Rochester tunes. One day while in town fetching feed with Mr. Weatherly, we stumbled across a flyer which said auditions were being held for a drummer and a bassist for a rock band. And well, you know the story from there. When Seth told us we were heading to Los Angeles to play some gigs and gonna hit it big, we just decided to tag along. That's how we got in. And that's where we stayed. Danielle Digit also asked, sorry, one more quick question. I know these are supposed to be questions for the guys, but I just read your interview on Self Publishers Showcase. Awesome sauce, by the way. I noticed you mentioned you have 21 books planned on coming out with the outlines. When will they be along the Metal Prodigy series, or were you going in another direction with the new series? I'm so excited to see where this one is going. Okay. That interview was actually granted 2 years ago when Redemption first came out. And I actually have a grand total of 36 outlines. 36 books. 4 have been published. So 32 to go! I'm so happy. You have no idea how happy I am. 32. Holy shit. The ideas just keep coming. But I really thought about your question. I sat back and looked at all of the covers for all these books. Yes, I have covers already made. This is just my insanity that I do. Anyway, I looked at the covers, and one series is not a part of the Metal Prodigy series or even an offspring of it at all, and one standalone novel, Pride, is not a part of it at all. Other than that, every single book or upcoming series is a branch off of the Metal Prodigy series in some way. It's related to it. It's linked back to it in some way. I think that's my love as a fan of series speaking there, and I think that's why I've been consciously or unconsciously doing it, however you want to look at it. I'm a huge fan of just ongoing stories featuring multiple characters. I'm a big fan of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, as you all know. I'm also a big fan of the KGI series from Maya Banks. So when they put out a book and put out the upcoming cover for one, and then as well as the synopsis, I'm all over that shit like wine on rice, man. I'm reading it immediately, figuring out who this book is going to be about, and I go wide-eyed and I get excited. I'm like, yes, so-and-so's finally getting a book. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do with these future series. So looking at all of the offspring series coming from this world that is now the Metal Prodigy series, I hope you all have the same reaction I do. So to answer your question, yes, they're all linked somehow with this. The series that I'm writing that's outside of it was just a really interesting idea I had, and I can't really link it to the Metal Prodigy series at all. It really is its own separate entity, but it's good. It's very, very good. It will test my erotica writing chops, which I have none of, so that'll be a real challenge for me. I'm looking forward to writing it, though. Pride, again, is a new adult novel. I want to kind of dip my toes in the same waters like Molly McAdams did with her stories. I absolutely adore that woman. Wow, talk about writing. Now, before I announce the winner, I do want to address a question put up by Terry, not Terry George. Oh, Terry, please forgive me. I forgot to look up your name online. I apologize. You know who you are, though. The stunning redhead. That's you. You know who you are. You asked me a question about the Tana Ding Dong and Twinkie Two Feathers and where I come up with that shit. Okay. I don't want to answer the question exactly because I don't want to give it away if readers watching this episode right now have not finished Reconciliation. I'll spoil it. So I'm going to answer it this way. That was not in the original outline. That was not how that scene was supposed to go at all. Here's what I do. This is how I write, literally, is I have it outlined, and every day on my lunch hour at work, I have a full-time day job, I go out for lunch. I usually either pack a lunch or, and I'm just going to admit this, I am a convenience store, gas station store junkie. I love processed foods. I love junk food. My diet is horrific. It is awful. It is so bad. Seriously, it's like, really, J.S., can you not incorporate a vegetable somewhere in your life? I could, maybe, sort of. If it's in a package, maybe, I could. No, but what I do is I go and I get my little refill of tea, and I usually grab a bag of chips, a sandwich, or, a veggie something, because I'm a vegetarian, and then I grab usually a Hostess snack cake on the way out. I grew up eating Twinkies and Ding Dongs and just horrific. It's horrific. It's terrible. I know. It's snowballs. I love snowballs. Hostess cupcakes are the shit, man. I do. I love them. I do. Oh, it's terrible. I know. It's awful. But whatever. So when I had to approach this scene, I was literally holding in my hand a package of ding dongs. So the outline before, this is how it was supposed to go. This is based on Drake's ideation and attraction and all things AG. Angela, at the time I wrote Reconciliation's outline, Angela Ramirez really wasn't in the series at all. I usually write these outlines way in advance and then just kind of tweak them as the story goes. So at the time, he was still very much in love with AG. So I had him showing up at Drake's home unannounced, unplanned. Well, not quite unplanned. I mean, Drake knew that John was eventually going to show up and they were going to talk, but he just didn't know when. John just decides to show up out of the clear blue sky, knowing that they had to come to a reconciliation. There you go, play on words, of what's going on between them two for the benefit of Hell's redemption. They need to come to an agreement once and for all what the problem is for one another and just reconcile it and just be done with it. So John shows up out of the clear blue sky, walks into the house after trying to get somebody to answer the door. Nobody answers. He finds the door unlocked. He walks in and the house is trashed. There was a party the night before. Drake apparently had hundreds of people over and they all had themselves a really fucking good time. Drake's house, completely demolished. There's videos running on the TV, not Wizard of Oz, but Hell's Redemption videos, most of them featuring AG on the screen. He knows Drake's madly in love with this woman. He doesn't like it, but, there it is. Drake's passed out on the couch, dead to the world. John, in his OCD, needs to have everything clean and orderly. Just radar goes off, and he decides to clean and let Drake sleep it off. And he's pissed. Mainly because he notices remnants of cocaine had been snorted the night before on the coffee table. So he's like, okay, well, the least I could do is send this guy off with a clean home and fire his fast, So he was really looking forward to it. So he cleaned, and Drake wakes up to the smell of pine sol and notices who's cleaning his house, is quite surprised. John makes him take an at-home piss test right there in the kitchen. Drake whips it out, takes a piss test to prove that he did not snort any of the cocaine from the night before, but it was there. So apparently the party attenders had themselves a rip-roaring good time. So they have it out, and it's not kind, it's not nice, it's stone cold sober, it's just nasty. It was just a lot of just ugliness coming out. And again, Angela was not in the picture at this point for Drake at all. So it was a fact of Drake trying to tell John, you don't deserve AG, what are you doing in her life? And John, of course, telling him, how do you think you deserve her, kind of thing. And then the two men duke it out. They literally beat the shit out of each other. At the end of the fight, I have them coming to an agreement that they will continue to hate each other. They will never see eye to eye on anything, but for the good of the band, they're going to keep it to themselves. There you go. That was the scene. That's how it was written originally. It sucked. Oh, it sucked. It was just predictable. It was just, ugh. So how did I come up with Tano Ding Dong and Twinkie Two Feathers? So again, I'm holding this package of Ding Dongs in my hand, eating it for lunch, and I'm thinking about Drake. It was actually Drake Mitchell that saved these two chapters. Drake Mitchell grew up in an apathetic home. He was ignored. Literally ignored by his parents. He was passed off to babysitters and nannies and housekeepers, and just anybody but his parents paid him any attention. He had no friends. He lived an isolated life the majority of his life. Even though being a military brat, he really was very lonely. So when he grew up and got away from that, he made a conscious choice in his adult life to not put up with that shit anymore. That if he wants to get to know somebody, he will. He will not be ignored. He will not just be tolerated. He will be a force to be reckoned with. That's kind of one of the reasons why he became a rock star. He wants attention. 20,000 people looking at you on stage, that's a lot of attention. So when somebody that he's close to or is in his circle doesn't say one word to him, that bugs him. It's that insecurity that he has. he promised himself he would never put up with that ever again, and yet here he is living with John Lucas for 7 years. The beginning of Hell's Redemption wasn't all glamorous. They lived out of their van. They ate ramen noodles. They were homeless. They struggled as any band does, going from gig to gig, praying that they get paid, praying that their instruments don't get ripped off. I mean, they really went through some struggles. The entire time John's not talking to him, and it just bothers him. So I came up with that. I was like, is that the reason why Drake paid for his surgery? Drake is an honest-to-God nice person. He is helpful because being raised in the military, that's what you do for your fellow soldier. You simply help them. They need help, you help. And he is generally wanting to fix things for people. He doesn't like to see people struggle. And if he can help, if he gives you his shirt off his back, he will. So him stepping up to the plate and paying for John's throat surgery when John needed it by selling 2 of his guitars, that was easy for him. That was a no-brainer. But I also thought, is there another motivation behind that? And there was. That was to get John to talk to him. He thought, okay, maybe there's something medically wrong with his throat and that's why he's not talking. So maybe if I fix it, he'll talk to me. Again, that insecurity, addressing that. He just wanted that, I don't know, acceptance. That's all Drake really wants, is acceptance. And you can either find something sad or something admirable about that. So that's where all that came into play. Getting drunk, yeah, that was a bit predictable, but again, sometimes you need some liquid courage. I don't know what else to say. The LSD, that came along, I just thought that would have been funny. But neither men know about it because, of course, the anti-drug policy with Hell's Redemption, and just have the old coot that sold the rock gut to Drake lace it, just too funny. And of course, John would know about it because he's raised in a hippie commune, right? So he would know what a trip feels like. But just having them bond over lack of memories to me was just too funny, and just having them just try to piece together what the hell happened, that in itself was just hysterical to me. So as I changed the outline and changed the story, it made more sense, and I was more at peace with it. I was more at peace with them two finally coming to forgiveness of one another and just coming to a clearer understanding. John really not trusting Seth and Drake with his stuttering is a real issue for the 2 founding members of Hell's Redemption, especially everything that they went through together as a band. They are a band. They are a core unit. They're friends. They stick with each other no matter what. You trust each other. Bottom line. When you don't, that's a huge, that's a huge offense in this world. I think it is. You need to trust. If they're your best friend, then you need to trust in them that they can help you. So that was how I came up with that. Also, Terry, the story needed some funny by that point. It really did. If reconciliation, I began writing it and came to the consensus of what needed to happen before my father died. I want to state that for the record. I actually was in the middle of writing chapter 12 when I got news that my father passed away. And then 4 weeks later, my grandmother passed away. I was like, double whammy, pow pow. But the story was already underway at the time. So it of course it still kept a serious tone, with the parental death throughout. And I needed to inject some funny. It desperately needed it at the time. And I thought, who better? Make it fun. And there you go. So, divine inspiration via Ding Dongs, Hostess, Snack Cakes. And, where the idea goes, why the snack cakes themselves, there's always been a misnomer out there. I don't want to say misnomer, but just a fact that those things have a shelf life of forever. I mean, Hostess would never keep something on the shelf for 10 years. They'll pull it. The vendors are very, very good about that. And in those stores, I'm always seeing the Hostess vendor and wondering if I could hitch a ride on their truck just so I could eat snack cakes all day. But they do put out a fresh product. But it is known if you keep it on your shelf for about 10 years, they'll still be good when you go back to them. So, because it's that full of preservatives. They're nothing but junk. It's nothing but sugar. It's the preservatives. So I thought, If they drink that much alcohol and LSD, how are they not in the hospital from alcohol poisoning? Oh, snack cakes. Snack cakes. They're sitting in their stomachs to save their lives. Brilliant. See? It makes sense to me. I don't know, but whatever. All right. Let's announce the winner, shall we? Winner of the second copy of Attraction. Signed copy of Attraction. I will be mailing it to you if you simply provide me your mailing address. You'll have to email that to me. Danielle Digit. Congratulations. You won the second signed copy of Attraction. Woo! Excited for you. All 3 books. Actually, all 4 books? 3 books. 3 books, 2 novellas. And will be out in paperback this December. I'm really excited. Really, really excited. The Attraction will be out in print, and you'll get a signed copy. So congratulations. Email me your mailing address, please, to jssauthor@gmail.com. And I'll put you on the list, and it'll be off to you once I get them in from Amazon. All right. So that's it for me. I've babbled on long enough. Where are we at? 31 minutes? That's not too bad. I'm going to be short when I want to be. Yeah, right. Any other questions for me? I love answering questions. A lot of fun. I really do have a lot of fun with these. It's a good time. It really is. So feel free. Email me anytime. You have a question, just email me. I'm good. I'll answer it. I don't care. I don't got nothing to hide. I'm good. That's it. Sunday. Oh, I'm off tomorrow too. Woohoo! I was off Friday. Woohoo! I slept most of that day, but I'm planning on getting some shit done. Let me tell you. Redemption for one thing. Oh my god. Oh, what a hot mess that thing was. I can't believe it. You all love it, and I love you. And thank you, by the way, to those of you that have been leaving reviews of Reconciliation. Thank you. None of us will ever be rich from writing books, believe me. If you saw my royalties, you'd be like, why do you do that? I do it for the reviews, period. So if you have not reviewed any of my books yet, but you've read them, please do me the honor and leave a review of what you thought. Please, please. This will help me in the end. If I want to get published, it will really help me in the end. Okay? Do that for any independent author that you read, okay? All right. With that, Author J.S. Orlando, Florida. Have a wonderful Sunday, a terrific good week, and God bless.